Yeah, she's fantastic. I'll have to see if I can hook up with her. Yeah. Yeah, no, the lady that was one of the sponsors really worked with community partners.
Morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. We'll give everybody a few more minutes. I see more people filtering through and in, so. Come on in, discover your dream, working towards your dream. This is it. I am from West Virginia. Thank you. Right outside of Charleston, it's called Chesapeake. We're considered Charleston. Well, no, I'm about 2 hours in. Yeah, Greenbrier is right on the border. Beautiful. Yeah. So Charleston, capital, southern part, and miles outside. Enough to be considered country, but not rural. So how's the morning going so far? Y'all excited?
Yeah.
I am part 1 and 2. Yes, ma'am. Good. Mark that seat. That's right. Come back for more. I thought I didn't want to rush through it, and they asked me 2 sessions, and so I just split them up. I understand. Okay. Sure. Well, I've got 2 in the bathroom. I'll wait till they come back and then. Yeah.
An hour?
Yes. It'll probably be more like 45 minutes since they went over this.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Discover Your Dream. I am Dan Lincoln. I'll be facilitating today for our speaker, Ms. Hill. I'm going to send around this sign-up sheet, so please sign it. And at the end of the class or the workshop, there's evaluations on your seat. So feel free to hand them to me or Mr. Coffee, who's standing in the back. So let's go ahead and get started. Miss Hill, thank you for being here all the way from West Virginia. She's an innovator, social entrepreneur, and human resource development enthusiast. She owns a company called Go Journey Inc., headquartered in Chesapeake, West Virginia. Founder, innovator, managing partner of Go Journey Inc., with a vision to provide support services that make your mission possible. She's an author and innovator. She Discover Your Dream and Go Journey Journal is a personal development tool and technologies. They provide on-site and virtual managed services, portfolio and program management, IT service management, organizational development, learning and development, event and performance management. She's presenting to you over 30 years of professional service with experience in retail, manufacturing, nonprofit, wholesale and retail power, financial and IT shared services, outsourcing, federal, state, healthcare, and insurance. Her educational background. She has a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Marketing from West Virginia State University. She has a Master's of Science in Adult Education and Training and Development, and a minor in Management of Information Systems. Her hobbies are volleyball. She's a volleyball coach. So with all of that.
Marshall University.
Volleyball coach. She takes up sewing and she likes watching chops.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's welcome Miss Hill.
Thank you. Welcome. How are we this morning? Good. I try to coach high school. I did play at Marshall University, played volleyball, and so it's my heart. But since I've turned 50, I don't think they want me to coach anymore. So I thought, well, maybe there's some women out there that want to coach, want to learn how to train. So I want to say welcome. We're going to be helping you work toward your dream today. Like she said, I am from West Virginia, born and raised, and traveled. I've been in DC area twice. Lived in Bloomington, Illinois. I left Charleston thinking, and I told my mom, I said that it can't be any worse than being in Charleston, so I'm going to go. And I get there, and there's cornfields. And so it was a good time there, though, because it gave me time to the IT and training and development, org development piece. And I've traveled and worked, and I thought, what's next? Because I've done that for the latter 15 of my 30 years of working. But along the way, I ran into people. I'm streamlining processes with the consulting and contracting I was doing. And when you streamline a process, what does that mean? That eliminates a job. A computer takes over for where a human acting and executing the business process. So along the way, I didn't feel good about what I was doing. Even though it paid well, was it the right thing? We do need technology. We can't stop technology. So my prayer was, what can I do now? What's something I can do to sew back in to teach people to keep moving and actually moving up, moving on. I met a lot of stuck people. I need you to hire me. I need you to keep me. And it was almost begging like. And I'm thinking, there's so much, there has to be more to this. And the more that I learned about my own journey, the more I thought, and I was given this piece with Discover Your Dream. It started with the journal because I thought if people could at least journal and start tracking whether they're stuck or whether they're moving along, that would help. And because I've worked in IT, I wanted to do an online technology piece. I started and was telling people about the technology. I thought, I don't have any business requirements. I don't have any templates to show someone that's going to develop. So I had to drop back. And so today, I ended up with a booklet for the intro to the journal. You'll see the journal this afternoon, at least a sample. So the booklet is first, before you can start and working towards your dream, you have to discover what it is. What is your dream? I thought my dream was to stay in information technology for the rest of my life. But industry at 40, you hit a glass ceiling, or you just get tired of running from place to place just to keep a job, because IT is not a West Virginia thing. There's not a lot of corporate headquarters there. So I had to look at, I moved back from Virginia, been back in West Virginia 10 years, picked up a really nice contract with privatization, stayed to with Brick Street Mutual Insurance. I rode that for almost 3 years, and it was good to me. But then it was time for me to do this without, I used to send out a resume and immediately I had a job. That stopped. What do I do now? So I had to get quiet, work some nonprofit. You know why? People, all people. So I met the people in corporate America. I needed to meet the people that was in the field, people that's in my community. I needed to understand West Virginia. I heard a lot about West Virginia when I first started traveling. Wasn't good things. I didn't know that, because I was from this wonderful place, beautiful mountain. I wanted for anything living in West Virginia, I'll be honest with you. So it's what you make it. But that's not how we are marketed to the rest of the world, especially within the United States. Just across the border in Virginia, they still didn't know that we was a state yet. So I did run into a lot of that. So I wanted to do something, being from West Virginia, that was going to show them this is one person from West Virginia that's doing something positive. There's a lot more, and I want to bring them to the forefront. I say all this to say, this is me, Melissa. Discover Your Dream is something I've come up with to help not just women, but all people. But I'm hoping that women will then in turn reach one and teach one, and especially your children. Don't send them to work for money. Send them to work to get experience so they can actually carry out their dream, okay? So what we're gonna do is we'll do introductions. I wanna guys, what's going on, what's your dream? We'll do a little gap analysis of where you was born and where you are now. Okay, that has a lot to do with your journey and where you might be, where it might be leading you. And then we'll slowly get through this first session with interacting. I'm not worried about getting through the materials, more so than getting you to understand what's that pain. Now I'm doing this. My goal is to open a bakery, because the number one thing that I loved in my life was being in the kitchen with my mother. I was the baker. She was cooking. Pies, cobblers, all that good stuff that we grew up with. You can't walk into a bakery and pick that up right now. You have cupcakes, you know, and I don't like marshmallow topping. I want some real buttercream. Some of that stick to the bone stuff. But I want a bakery where we can start a conversation with something sweet, some coffee, a nice drink, and we get to engage. Right now, communities are not set up for engagement. They're set up for us to live, part of the workforce. Live, be a part of the workforce. So I tell people all the time, sometimes I feel like I've been forced to work. I don't want to be like that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work and then retire and have no energy left to do anything. We're on the same page, and I believe that when you leave here, you will have at least your dream statement, or at least the beginning, a draft, and it will get your mind churning as to what it is, what are your products and services, because that's the one thing that we miss doing is defining our products and services, okay? We'll talk about how to journal, how to, this afternoon, how to journal, as well as finding that coach, someone that's going to hold you responsible, accountable. And then my role, if you'd like, I can be that coach. You can give me a call and say, this is where I'm stuck, because I didn't have that. Didn't have it at all. So I want to be the gap that I didn't have with this. All right, so working towards your dream. We're also looking at breaking barriers, okay? We're going to break through today. Some of your personal, as well as we'll talk about some of those industry or national barriers that we face as women and how we're going to break those. So let's meet you. You are going to introduce yourself by giving me your name, what's your birthplace, your current city and state, and do you have a dream? Yes or no? All right, does anybody want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Shakura Tynes. I'm 23 years old. My birthplace is Louisville, Kentucky. That is where I currently reside. In the Atlantic Valley.
Okay, awesome. Welcome. Who's next?
Dana Branham. I am originally from Lexington, Kentucky, and my mother says that I'm in Lexington, but mentally I'm not. So that's a short-term thing.
Okay.
So, and yes, I have.
Awesome. Who's next?
I'm Kimberly Fiddle. I was born in Royal Oak, Michigan, just close to Detroit. Currently living in Louisville. And
Awesome. Welcome. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Jackie Murdoch, and I'm born in Louisville. Currently living in Louisville. And I'm in transition.
Like that word transition. Yes, I understand. Welcome. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and I was born in Ashland, Kentucky, but I've lived in every place in Kentucky. And this is my children with me today. It's part of my dream. I currently live in Lexington.
Oh.
And my mother is with me.
Wow.
When I was 13,
That's good. That's good. You're teaching us. To be honest, that's good. That's why you're here. Yes, sir.
I'm Sharon Gard, and I am the matriarch. Otherwise known as Mom and Mimi. I was born in Huntington, West Virginia.
Marshall, that's right.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, man. Go to be here.
I'll forgive you. That's good. We're representing the good.
And I've lived most of my life since spent in Kentucky and currently live in Lexington. That's actually close to home.
Awesome. Welcome.
And I do have a drink.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm Sharita Miller, and I was born in Stanford, Kentucky. I currently live in and I am in the process of working.
Awesome.
I'm Sharice Robinson. I was born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I am starting a chapter.
Awesome. I like that chapter too. All right.
Well, I'm Jackie Newton, very much like Sheree. I started a new chapter in my life. I was born and raised here in Louisville, Kentucky, and also Southern Indiana.
All right.
And I'm working on my dream.
Awesome. Welcome.
I'm Nicole White. I'm 39. I was born in London, Kentucky. Took a detour to Oregon for a year to law school and then back to Lexington. That's where I live now. A little bit like that. I feel a little uncertain of what my dream is at the moment. I've had some health challenges and some other things that derailed the plans that I had. So we're working on a new plan.
Awesome. Welcome.
I'm Babs Freiberg, and I was born in Lakewood, Florida. I live in Louisville, Kentucky now, and even though I'm 60 plus, I still have a dream.
That's right.
I'm so glad to be in this workshop today because I think it's going to help.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi. My name is Aisha Umar, and I'm from Nigeria in Africa.
Awesome.
And I currently go to school in Frankfort, Kentucky. When you drink.
This is good.
I mean, I get confused sometimes. Yeah, I do have to.
You're not alone.
So hi, I'm Victoria Fesoni. I'm from Nigeria too, and I'm a business student working on my dream.
Okay.
And I live in Frankfort, Kentucky. And yes, I have a dream.
Awesome. Welcome, ladies.
I'm Susan Crook, and I was born in Louisville, Kentucky.
My dad was born in Jumping Branch, Virginia, which was fondly referred to as Swinging Vine. So that's what's
Yes.
But I lived, what I used to like to say, over half my life in Florida. But I came back up here, so half of it. But that's, I say my soul lives in the Florida Keys. My heart lives in Taos, New Mexico, and Manatee Springs, Colorado, and my body is here. But,
We needed to hear that.
driving here.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
No.
I really, when we go to Scott, I always feel a little bit like why am I here, back here? I've gone full circle. My parents are dead, and even living in their house, just living in Shiley, which I never thought. I sold my house in Crescent Hill. And I know that God, I'm blooming where I'm planted. And to me, it's so amazing, all the women of color. My daughter's black, and I work for social justice every day of my life. Like, and she inspired me. She lives in Colorado Springs. I'm taking a little more time.
No, this is
good. It's all about, I'm living my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very many more. I'm happy.
Awesome. You said blooming where I'm planted. That's important. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go. My name is Nietzsche Olega. I was born in Wheat, Illinois, though. Currently live in Frankfort, Kentucky. And yes, I have several dreams, trying to type them all into one.
I do understand. Welcome.
Thank you. My name's Brittany Campbell. I was born in Frankfort, Kentucky, and also reside there. And yes, I do have a dream.
Awesome.
My name is Janet Lewis. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. So, as soon as she
There
said
you go.
Michigan, I was like, I'm currently residing in Louisville, and you'll have to forgive me, but my mother always said that she inherited this thing from her father. Nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. So I'm not asleep. I have goals, and my goals are maybe in the form of what you call a dream.
Yes, I agree. We will get to that too. Good job. Thank you. Yes.
My name is Elaine Mayer, and I'm born in Boardwalk, Kentucky. And I have a dream here in my grade school.
Awesome. All righty. So what about you guys back here? Do you have a dream? You kind of introduce yourself. Come on, get in here.
I'm James. I was born in yes, I always small little dreams, so, feel certain for that.
I like that. Humble beginnings. That's good. And yes, sir, do you want to introduce yourself? You don't. No. Well, he's about to figure that out today. What do you think? All right, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Kathy Howe, and I live here in Louisville, but I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. And I did know that West Virginia was a state.
Oh,
never questioned that. It was just a big mountain between Kentucky and Virginia. But then I drove through it, and it's beautiful. It's
beautiful. Yeah.
And I have a dream. I've been wanting one, but I'm not sure if I can put it in words right now.
Exactly. Thank you. Welcome. All right, so let's get started with this. You have on your chair just a simple booklet. Your dream. In the booklet, it's your personal, because we need to read and write. When I want to remember something, when I want to make something official, I write, because for me, it's writing it into my spirit. Making it plain for at least me to look at if not weekly, at least once a month to say, okay, what did I start on? What am I trying to do here? Okay. Also, with the booklet, there will be more tools that I will put online to help you discover a little more, because what I'm hearing, some of you, I'm hearing a little one, which is good. Humble beginnings is good. I'm hearing broad. I'm also hearing that word life transition, because I know where you are. That's a good thing, though. At least you're moving, or you want to move. You don't want to get stuck. But those of you that have that dream where you need clarity, because at least the statement got me going with, okay, what is it that I'm trying to do? And you will rewrite your statement. Okay, today you'll go away with at least a draft, but you're going to keep writing, and you'll do some research, because you need to research to see what is the industry approach to what I'm trying to do. Products and services. Am I creating something totally new, which is innovation? Am I going to be an innovator in my field? I'm going to enhance something that already exists. So this statement is just going to be your launching pad. And so you may come back and further define, clarify, move on with this. All right. So, working towards your dream important. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. Angela. An untold story inside of you. What I found is a lot of people had a dream, they had a story. Your story and your dream does go together. In most cases, they're intertwining, but we don't want to tell our story. Story, we sometimes define what that dream is. Your fight, your plight, things you've been to. I heard some medical here. Plan, part of the journey, what you've been through. I say I grew up a little over sheltered. I'm one of 8. We only knew we had to go to college. Okay? So ROTC, go to college. So you do that, and it was worth it. But at the end of the day, now what do? I went to work. And everybody was working to retire. That didn't gel with me. By the way, I've never been married. I don't have any kids. I have 21 nieces and nephews. I love them, but I get to give them back. And there's peace in my house. So, but I always said, what God has for me is for me, and that's okay. It's been a good life. But those babies I look at, I'm an aunt. I know my role. So sometimes that role will help you clarify your dream. Help them to find their true role. Not if something happens, but helping them discover their dream. Because sometimes parents are so bogged down. Child to the side to say, I got you in your dream, while mom and dad is doing A, B, and C. Okay? That untold story will sometimes lead you to more clarity in your dream. And I also believe that your dream is your personal connectivity and catalyst to wellness and prosperity, that agony piece. Being in a job that you're dreading, Monday morning, you're trying to go in and what am I going to do? I don't feel like this today. You're just, losing steam. And I will send you this presentation to work through it. It's on Sway, so I will post it out there. Today, your connectivity, I looked at the Constitution. I try to take everything back to the Constitution now. I don't want you to be like me. I don't want to be like you, but I want something tangible that we can all attach to. That one piece of paper, that fair playing field, and that's the Constitution. Welfare, prosperity for posterity, for our future, okay? We've got to start fighting for now and for the future because things are getting ready to change. So that connectivity would be, how does your dream family, your community, to your constitutional rights. Going to help, because we're going to talk about a lot of girl stuff in there. We're going to engage. We're going to talk about what's your dream. Or anything. We like that. Sweet stuff is good. Okay? So your connectivity, are you connected? Are you engaged? So let's look at this. Are you working towards your dream? I've come up with 5 current situations. When we're children, we're sent off to school and we learn. As children, to a certain extent. Say that again.
If you have the right family and community.
Yes, if you have the right family and community, you're exactly right. Experience. Did you go and learn? Did you learn to love your classmates, community? Learn to love and to work. This work piece is hard. Most of you, you're here because you have that desire. So a lot of people, work just didn't work for them, right? How many of you have been on a job that didn't work for you? You'll get there. just wait on it. You two, young in the back, you'll get there, you know? You like everything you do? Okay, that's good. You keep that attitude. And I'll be honest with you, every job I was excited because it was something new, and I'm a lifelong learner, okay? But I had one job I shouldn't have taken the job. It was for the money. And I got that sting. It was hard, it was brutal. I had to stay there until I got another job. So has anybody been through a brutal situation? Yes. Yeah, it hurts. And you never want to feel that again, ever in life. I had to learn to love at that job and love the work, even though it was hurting inside. Okay? And then we learn to live. Sometimes we stop at work. Okay? Has anybody ever stopped at work and didn't engage? It will take you out. Okay? So there has to be balance. Okay? And then after you learn to live, that's where you start planning. Because if it's all about work, you're probably working for someone else, right? So whose dream is that? Somebody else's dream. Yes. So at the end of the day, with this last one, number 3, when you learn to live, you start to plan. You start saying, okay, well, I've got this skill, or I've got this desire, and let me start writing some things down. So for me, I just kept writing. I had all these notebooks, and I just kept writing. Journaling wasn't my thing, but I've learned that it does help, because you can go back and look at some things, and it shows you how far you've come, as well as the fact that you are progressing, as well as whether you need to have some things you need to work on. Okay. The last one is, after you plan, you can create. That's where you create your products and services. What are my products and services? Who will they impact? Who are the people they're going to impact? In most cases, as you're progressing, even at work, you learn something. I want to say you don't perfect it, because nothing comes perfect. You just keep working at it. Okay, but you get to a point. Within 7 years, you should be an expert in that field and industry. But they don't tell you that, do they? They don't want to lose a good employee. They need you. Okay? And we start thinking they need me. We buy into that. Paycheck is good. I can go shopping when I want. Food in the fridge. Take a couple of vacations. A lot of people stop there, but as you plan and you start creating, sometimes you can use those products within your company, but why not start planning for your own? Okay? You want to make sure whatever you're doing, for time for your own business. Because I've read a lot of company information that says if you do it on their time, using their equipment, they own the rights. So you want to be careful. And the last piece is after you after you create it, you're going to launch, stabilize, live it and love it. You don't have to work 40 hours a week in your own company. Bless you. That's all right. And you don't have to work that 40 hours. Okay? For me, it started when I got to see the back end I was working and how much the contractor was being paid compared to me. Okay? So for you all, if you look at this, how many people do I have that's learning and loving right now? You're in that learning, okay. Addition, are you saying we have to learn and love again? Yes. That's important because with the way we learn, the process of learning, cognitive learning, Bloom's taxonomy, we're saying we learn, we're exposed, we learn something new, and then we have to apply, and then we can start analyzing whether or not this is something I need to look at as far as creating something. And we'll get into the models. Do I have anybody at number 2? You're working and you're living. That's good. But you also have balance and you're able to balance that and live a good life. You're good. You're not stuck. Anybody there? Okay, good. We've got one. And tell us, I mean, do you like what you're doing? Is that why you feel like good? What do you do?
Yes, I'm actually with my construction, so I manage several project administrators and provide the coordination. Prior to that particular role, I was doing that job that paid millions of dollars, you know, but killing me inside.
That's
so
right.
Now I've found a great balance between work and life.
Awesome. Anybody else with kind of, yes ma'am.
I am the Senate relocation, so I manage a lot of projects basically with corporate clients and how to develop business.
Okay.
For our agents. And we have a pretty predictable personal life.
Yeah.
So I thrive and I feel like I'm missing a little bit of my energy at this point. It's all good.
Yes.
I need a little target.
I hear you. So that dream might be that spark.
I mean, I'm living the dream.
Uh-huh.
It's all good.
Uh-huh.
But the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. How about this? I've heard some of you say you're working, you're living, and you have a plan. Even my college students, you have at least, you know. What's your plan? What are you trying to do? What's your dream?
I'm trying to create an agricultural enterprise in Africa. We'll go to the website, go to the app, and order food. And it gets them 2 hours. And I started it. I have acres of farmland in Africa. My work has started already. But we're still working on it.
Awesome. And there's a need for that.
Yes, there is.
All right. Yes, ma'am. What do you want to tell us?
I want to own a financial institution that deals in foreign exchange.
It's awesome. Okay. Go ahead.
I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to know if it's cost, because I mean, prior to now, I was working on writing a book on customer service, or writing my business plan and all of that. But I had to pay tuition and all of that. So I had to work a lot. And that gives me little time to work on these things that I'm so passionate about. So I just tell myself that, I mean, it's okay, I have to pay my tuition. Somehow I have to work.
That's right.
So I've been telling myself it's okay to just relax and put these things on hold. But I don't know if it's actually okay to do that.
Oh, yes. You have to rest. You have to step back. Once you write, put it away. Let it go for a minute. Like you're saying, you have to take care of the essentials, which is food, shelter, and more than anything, sanity. Okay? All right?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm gonna address this.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think I'm in a transition or, number 3.
Okay.
So, right, for me.
Yes.
So I think I've learned, I love living a little bit, but I'm only living a little bit because the work is shaking.
Okay.
So I'm, to your point of wanting to pause, I am trying to sell a business, start a nonprofit. I told you I'm listening.
Good job.
All of those things. And so I had to take a pause about a month ago, and I said, I can do one thing at a time. Those things.
Good job.
Otherwise, I was as overwhelmed as I was before making the decision to do all these things. So you have to take a pause.
Good job.
And prioritize what needs to happen. So my priority right now is self-business. Business that frees up all kinds of time and money and all.
Good. Anybody else, especially sewing into these young people?
Well, and I'm kind of like when we talked about in transition, where you have this job, you can't let go of because you pay your bills, the money is good for you, but then you have this dream and this passion that is sitting here and it just keeps, in your mind, going at you. And so I'm kind of right in the middle, and while I'm trying to balance it, it is a struggle.
It is.
It is a struggle.
I hear you.
Because you're young and, you don't want to burn out early. It's a real phenomenal, experience to myself. But do the work and you lay the groundwork, because journaling really helps. There's something about getting, and once you have your skills, and once people aren't going to take it serious to your little thing. So that's one thing. They don't take it serious, right? Because you've got to sort of prove yourself. But once you've done that, you have to allow. Because once you're in that zone, you don't want to forget that you're not doing it. How do you look at God, the universe, God,
that's right.
Will bring it. You'll just, this thing will happen. And you won't have to work.
You're exactly right. Thank you.
I'll give you that hope.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, so do we have someone that's ready to launch and stabilize something? No? Yeah, one? Okay.
I'm on the brink of that.
Okay.
I'm ready to move into launching.
Okay. Awesome. That's good. Anybody else? Yes. You too? Yeah, because you're already tested.
Yes.
That's good. Awesome.
Shannon and I have a consulting business that I've had for 20 years, and she's worked with me for 14.
Awesome.
And
Love it.
and we're best buds. We're taking on another partner and expanding our horizon, which has made both of us a little bit uncomfortable because our dynamic is really good. And now it's gonna get shaken up a little bit. And while we're excited, we're wary. But unlike a lot of young people in here, I have learned and how to say no.
Good, I like that.
And how to say hell no. And if you can set some parameters early on about what you will and will not do, and you make it very clear, you'd be surprised how many clients will respect the fact that you have said, this is a hard stop.
That's right. Good
And
job.
I would say she has taught me, I mean, she's been saying that my whole life.
Mhm.
But as I get older, 14 years.
Mhm.
As I get older, I understand it.
Good
As
job.
I have more experience and confidence in what I'm doing, I understand more.
Good job. I like that. And the dynamics of that family business. That was my dream with this thing too, to get more families to work together. That's what we're moving towards with this fourth industrial revolution. We're kind of going backwards, but it's a good thing if you can catch the wave and ride it. Automation, technology, robotics, it's all going to give us connectivity beyond where we are right now. You know, we can sell global from here. For me in West Virginia, that's awesome. We have one new person. Want to introduce yourself? I'm going to go back. Welcome, but I'm going to go back so we can get you engaged. What is your name? Go ahead.
Oh, Jean Ann, and I am born in Lexington, Kentucky, raised in Ashland. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a dream?
Yes, I usually don't do.
Okay.
Right now, I'm in my first job out of school.
Awesome.
I have a finance degree, commerce minor. I'm also working full time to get my master's in organizational leadership.
Mm-hmm.
What my strengths are, and I like to help people, and I love business, and I think I may merge those two and go into human relations sort of job. I'm just excited and proud because all the experience that I've had has been good, and I'm really happy.
That's the journey. It's preparing you and leading you actively towards discovering and living your dream. I love it. I will also post this little survey because I have this online once we leave here, and I get to email you guys to death, so I know where you are. And that gives me some tracking, and also I can post additional information for each one of those as you continue to discover after this. All right, so are you stuck, comfortable, discovering? Are you truly on your journey? Okay, I met a lot of stuck people, but it was because they had to work and keep that job, family, bills to pay, they wasn't satisfied, and that's kind of how I ended up writing a lot of this stuff. Some people are just comfortable. IT world, so I met a lot of people, especially young men. I'm comfortable. I don't want any more out of this. Females in IT. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. When I moved to Bloomington, Illinois, I worked for a company that was based out of India. I was one of two Americans with the company. It was interesting because I never thought about flipping the picture and, you know, not Americans not being at the forefront. So where are we now? That was in 2002. Okay, so that was a glimpse for me of what we're moving into now. So, with yourself as to where you are. Are you stuck, comfortable? Are you discovering? Or are you on your journey? We must move from receiving to getting. Wanting somebody else to create a job for you, give you a paycheck. That's okay, but are you sewing back into, how are you sewing back into the business? Now, I met some people that truly was a part of building the business. They was engaged, they was helping to make things better, even if it was updating policies and procedures on one side to discovering new products and services. Because as we move forward, whether you're working for yourself or someone else, innovation is key for any business to stay open. New products or enhancing the ones that you have to make sure that they can be used in this new industrial revolution age. okay? That receiving piece, I'm receiving a paycheck and I'm doing my job. Moving, since we're automating, don't you think that job will at some point go away? Yes, okay? So you want to start working towards giving, even if it's giving back in the community, your own family, take time to help them discover, because the jobs we see today will not be there tomorrow, be here tomorrow. You must acknowledge that your dream is your personal economic development plan. I always try to help so many people. After X amount of years, the last 5, I start working nonprofit. I needed to see it. I didn't know. Okay? Do I have anybody working nonprofit in the room? Did I hear somebody opening a nonprofit? One? Okay. It's not easy. It is huge.
So we are working with my sister and I.
Okay.
We started a backpack food program
Oh, that's
in
awesome.
Lexington, Kentucky, and we needed a nonprofit so that people would donate and give it tax. My sister and I.
Exactly.
I'm good about this.
Good job.
So we partnered with a local nonprofit to go from doing what we're doing, a nonprofit. It's a lot of money.
That's right.
Time.
You're right.
Not that we don't want to eventually be there. I would encourage anyone that's looking to start a nonprofit to find that community partner that already is a nonprofit. If you can piggyback with them, it's helpful for all.
Good job. Piggybacking, sharing, engaging. That is good. Just want to make sure that you have the same mission, or at least you can respect each other's mission. Okay? Also want to make sure that a higher power is telling you this is a good partnership, relationship. Because I've been there too. Yes. Okay. So at the end of the day, we need to engage. Economic development. Get your personal plan. How are you going to give back? Don't overdo it. I overdid it. I was working more on the nonprofit side than I was. Oh, you did that too. Okay?
Not doing that.
So that's where I lost balance. I wanted to save everybody that needed saving. So make sure as part of your for-profit plan, there's an opportunity for you to give back, like she said, sharing that opportunity. Fourth Industrial Revolution. How many have heard of the Fourth Industrial Revolution? Couple. So basically it's saying the first one was water and steam. We learned to get around. We used water, rail, what have you, to ship products and services. Then it was the electricity piece. The third industrial was automations, which was your electronic, the internet. They now call it the Internet of Things. But further automation. If he was in a company, there was hierarchy, top down. There was always someone managing the people. And when I started, it was 87. Well, I would have started working in 87 as a manager approach because I was a volleyball player. I was watching them get rid of the middle level management was going away. And that's because they noticed that there was no need to manage people. If you know the job, there's a procedure manual, or somebody gives you that training, you're going to be held accountable for doing that job. And there was no need to have 2 different levels of people over top of you to manage the people. Those processes were streamlined, and sometimes it felt like he was given a double job. But in actuality, there was some waste there executing the business process. So that automation piece came in. The fourth industrial revolution, driverless cars. Are we ready? Smart robotics. So we're already experiencing some of that. When you go to the grocery store, check yourself out. That means all that data is already in the system. You scan it, you're there. In some of the manufacturing fields, yeah, there's robots out there. Why? More cost effective, as well as it's effective. It's more efficient. They don't have to worry about people getting hurt. And so at the end of the day, you tell me I've got 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I thought it was until 12. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Lunch starts at 12? Okay, that's fine. We'll finish some more after this. Yeah. So after the automation piece, keep in mind you're building for your future. And let's hop to Maslow's. Have you seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Yeah. You have to know your needs. You have to know who you are. You have to know your needs. There's a lot of people stuck in the poverty trap, okay? Some of us have been in that poverty trap. And that means that we're so needy that we would just about do anything, okay? This piece on wellness, you have to be well to execute. We have to be fit. So we look at the spiritual would be your platform, whatever that is. Higher power, you, whatever that is, it doesn't matter. Mental, physical would be your legs, your stance. Social, intellectual are your arms. We can have all the intellect in the world, but if our social is not aligned to support our dream, we're not balanced, okay? And that determines our occupation and where we go from here. Leadership, you have to be the leader of your own dream, okay? No one else can lead your dream. You can't lead somebody else's dream. We can be a part of helping with parts of someone else's dream, but and someone can engage with you, but at the end of the day, you have to be that leader. Bloom's taxonomy gives us the process of learning. Some of you said you're starting over. We are all starting over at some point. Every time we learn something new, we remember, we understand, we apply, we analyze, evaluate, and we create something. So, up to your booklet. If you go to your page 4 and 5, do this. But on page 4, it gives you the overall of how to create your dream, the approach to defining your dream, your identity, what you believe, all a part of that. And then your plan is going to be based on you writing your dream statement. Okay, and we'll do that in this afternoon session. I'm not going to rush through it. Be part of that. I said I'm doing IT. I'm now doing this, but eventually I'll open up a bakery. That's a hobby, but it's something that I dream of doing long term. Some of the personality tests, I've done these. I used to avoid them. There's a Maslow test. Where are you as far as your basic needs? There's a wellness assessment. Remember, wellness is all the parts. I'll send you all of that too. Researching your name. What does your name mean? Got to know you. This is your identity piece. Personality assessment. I used to avoid all these things because back in the day, they would use them against us. Say we didn't qualify for management because we had this thing, okay? They work if you use them the right way, okay? And then OMIN, that's the federal side. It will at least walk you through an assessment to help you what it is that you really want to do. It looks at your likes, dislikes, etc. And then I use also spiritual gifts. That's another piece. In most cases, whatever you're doing, you're going to be a teacher, a counselor, a coach, you're going to be helping someone, okay, with whatever you're doing. So to teach, you have to know that subject matter and be able to create something, plan and create something within that area. I'm going to stop here because, and this is my fault, I didn't look at the schedule. Otherwise I would have said it. But this afternoon, if you'll come back, I'll make sure we're going to get your dream statement together. And then we'll also look at the journal and how to move forward with that. And if you get a chance, on your page 7, there are some examples of dream statements. And then we'll move forward this afternoon with truly creating one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you sell your journal?
I do. I haven't printed the first one. This is my launch. Welcome. Yes, thank you. Yes, I will be selling you get this one free, but I have 3rd colors, the booklet as well as the journals. It's a year-long journal that you'll receive. All right. All right. Well, I will see you at 2 p.m. Please come back. I apologize for the schedule delay, and thank you. Thank you.